Now we move on. The Israeli military has intercepted and boarded the last Marinette, believed to be the last remaining ship still sailing to Gaza as part of the Global Sumud Flotilla. Crew members were seen on the live stream holding up signs aboard the ship saying they spotted warships approaching shortly before Israeli soldiers boarded the vessel. Israel has faced international condemnation and protests since its military intercepted almost all of about 40 boats in a flotilla carrying aid to Gaza and took captive of more than 450 foreign activists, including Swedish campaigner Greta Thunberg and former Barcelona mayor Ada Colau. The Global Sumud Flotilla, the organizer of the voyage, has said that on X that more than 450 volunteers had been detained. Earlier, it said some of them were transferred to one large cargo vessel before being taken ashore. Now for this discussion, we're joined by Aharon Levarko. He's an Israeli journalist, joins us live from Netanya. Thank you very much for joining us today. Welcome to NewsX World. Now, what do you think this flotilla has achieved, and what do you think their aim was, and what do you think it could not or it has not achieved?
Yeah, they were the questions that you've asked, and you pretty much covered all of the main questions. Look, I think the main things, I think both sides have kind of come out in a positive light. For example, the flotillas, I mean, they knew what they were doing by coming into territory that was they were told they could not come into. They were told that Israel will be taking care of the aid getting into Gaza, which we have been doing with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tons of food has been going in. But I think one of their main goals is that they wanted international attention. And that certainly is what they've got, because on most of the boats, they had videos, they had equipment, and they have been able to get that attention, public recognition. And on the Israeli side, you know, the Navy, they arrested them peacefully. There was no damage done to any of the boats. There was no injury done. Israel had to be very careful because in 2010-11, there were flotillas that came with weapons. And so Israel were very cautious. So as I say, the Navy, they did everything peacefully. It took a long time, approximately 40 ships or boats, and no one was hurt. They've been detained. So yeah, I think it's kind of a positive outcome, although the people on the flotilla would be upset, disappointed that they weren't able to get the food and the aid through, which they say was one of their goals. On the Israeli side, they were concerned that that some of the people were acting as agents for Hamas. Whether that's true or not, I do not know. But that seems to me the outcome of it, and I think it's going to boil down, and I think it's going to be business as usual. And thankfully, no one was injured.
Yes, we know that everybody was safe, and now I think they are in Israel. So how does this Israeli military's interception of the Global Sumud Flotilla align with Israel's broader strategy or protecting the maritime of Israel? And what messaging does this send to international community?
Well, everyone has their border laws, including Israel, and I did mention what happened in 2010-11, where many people were killed. So I think it's another message that you know, we are taking care of the borders, we are taking care of the aid, And I know that there is propaganda and news saying that we are not taking care of the aid, but the statistics and the history speak for themselves. It's undisputable the amount of food that has gone into Gaza. Now, what has happened with that food is not our responsibility totally, because Hamas takes some of that food and either sells it or keeps it away from some of the people. But that's another issue. The issue that you've asked about is the flotillas, the borders, the maritime of Israel. It sends a message that we will have zero tolerance, like any normal country, of anyone coming into your borders. And I think we've got every right to check and to see who and what is coming into our borders, and we will act decisively, just like any other country in the world would do the same.
And since Aaron, you are in Israel, can you tell us how is this flotilla news covered over there by Israeli media?
Yeah, it's one of the major news items in the last 24 hours, for sure. It was practically an all-night operation. It took our Navy. And as I said, there were about approximately 40 boats and ships to deal with. And it's not so easy. And there's the risk factor, the danger factor. So all of these issues were covered extensively through media. I think they were probably the number one major news article, right from left wing, right wing, central, an absolutely important piece of news. And as I say, thankfully, no one was injured.
Yes, and Aaron, what has been Israel public's reaction about foreign activists, such as high-profile figures like Greta Thunberg and Ada Colau? How do you think, how is this affecting our domestic views on Gaza blockade or the flotilla?
Well, one of the things is historically we've allowed people to come, we've allowed people to protest. We are a democracy and there is freedom of speech. One of the problems is that we have discovered, especially in the last 2 years since October the 7th, 2023, that there have been people coming in who have been operatives of Hamas. They have been pro-Hamas and anti-Israel, and that's, again, that there's freedom to be against our nation, to be against our policies. Many Israelis are against our government's decisions. But when it comes to supporting terrorist organizations like Hamas, that will and has and will cross every red line. Hamas are a terrorist organization, so we will not tolerate people that supports a terrorist organization.
And Aaron, lastly, so in light of this flotillas and Sumud, do you think that there will be other flotillas following this? And do you think that this will be just a reoccurrence of something similar we'll be seeing?
Well, that's really up to these people who lead it, like Greta from Sweden. They will have to strategize and ask themselves, is it worth it? Is it worth the cost? The cost of bringing food this way? Could they find another way of bringing food? And is that their real motive in coming, to bring food or to cause an international cessation and stir up the situation here? You and the international community can be the judge of what their true motives are. But I wouldn't be surprised in the future if they came up with another plan, they sent more people back. But as I say, they're going to have to weigh up the cost, the time, and whether this has been worth it before they make another decision.
Thank you very much, Aaron, for sharing that insight. Please stay with us as we come back to you. And now we stay on